How you getting on, mate?
Not bad, you?
I'm alright.
I just thought I'd give us a bash and thought you'd be the perfect person to start off with and help me out, eh?
I don't know about perfect, but
First question is just why did you start, basically?
eh, I've always liked getting out and about,
Aye,
doing stuff, and you you just turn to taking photos, don't you? Whether it was with your phone or whatever, and that quickly became something I like to look back on.
mm-hmm.
Obviously, remember things. There's quite often I'll go through my phone just looking at old photos and just in general go back years, just looking at
Aye,
different things. It was actually my sister. She first got a camera and started. She was getting into doing photography, taking like child photography,
alright, aye.
in newborns and all that. So we were in Krakow, Krakow,
Aye.
and she had a camera. So I was on a wee shot about the main square and that. And I quite enjoyed it. I thought I'm going to get one. Be
So
ideal. And
was that like a few years ago or?
that'll be. Krakow would have been about 3 years ago now.
Aye.
I got my first camera just after that and took it to Mexico.
Aye.
Uh,
No bad.
and that's
Aye.
I get the fright of my life the first time I used it, and I was like, why is this pure blown out?
Aye.
why can I not see a picture here? And then so I had to quickly learn how to work the settings.
Aye. Now I was a bit like that as well. I needed to contact one of my mates because when I first started using it, it was I would take a photo and then I would just think it would taken it, but like the shutter hadn't released, so I was moving and then it would like it'd be all blurry, and I didn't get this.
Long exposure.
Aye, I just stopped using it, and then I seen one of my mates was using Instagram and putting decent photos up and that, and I need to contact him, because like I can't continue to keep doing this. So aye, that was a bit like me. I was a bit sort of similar maybe 2 years ago now. But aye, it's amazing what you can do with a camera. You just think you sort of click and that's it,
Unbelievable.
but it's no.
Unbelievable. The best part about it is the taking the photo is just that's the easy part. So it's the post processing and all that, and try to get the photo to look the way you've imagined it.
Aye,
And
100%.
that's the bit I love about it. It's a lot more than just going out. Like I love planning a day out. Like if I was going up to Glencoe or anywhere, I'd love to. I plan it out. I go on Google Maps, and it's like a whole process of it. I love it. It's great, and the amount of new places I've seen just from having the camera and wanting to go and see this place and wanting to go and see that place, it's phenomenal.
Aye, because I remember saying to you, like, I'd never been to Skye, like, I'd never been to Glencoe, like, and I'm from Scotland, lived here all
Aye.
my life, and I'd never been up that way. It just made me go and do it, and like,
100%.
like the Highlands is like the best in Scotland. Like the Borders is nice,
Oh,
but it's nothing on the Highlands. Like it's just
well, it's phenomenal. Like
unbelievable.
I've been up to Glencoe, lost count amount of times now. I've been to Skye twice,
Aye.
and there's still the amount of places that I need to go and see
I
is
know.
unreal, and the amount of places that I'll revisit as well.
No, that's it. Because I remember when we went to Skye, it was we went to the store and it was pissing it down there. It was horrendous weather, and I thought I could have got a decent photo. It almost would have been like a silhouette because it was that bad. But obviously I had the misses and that, and it just wasn't happening. So I never actually made it up. We ended up just going back to the car and back to the hotel. It was that bad. So now I've got to go back to photograph that. But it's amazing, like amazing place, Skye. Just different.
The second time I went to Skye was with my mate Ray.
Aye.
He's above Scotland.
Aye.
And we went up the store, and there was literally not another soul for 3 hours because of the weather. it was like the rain was coming down horizontal. It was forecasted it was 80 mile an hour winds.
Jeez.
And the two of us were up there for 3 hours at the full place to ourselves. But I don't think Sky's ever seen the place so empty. But it was mad. And to be fair for the conditions, we actually got some decent stuff.
See, that's the difference, between me and you. You're willing to go the extra mile. I'm not.
You forget I work outside all year round. I'm used to that.
I'm just an office boy.
Well, staying in the west of Scotland, you get a look at the weather.
No, exactly. So you're quite gutted, obviously, not being able to go out now just for the whole situation and that.
Aye, mega gutted. Most weekends I'd have been doing something, but the plus side, obviously, I've got my daughter and my fiance who I get to spend all my time with. So that's a massive bonus for getting through everything that's happening now.
You're
so
right.
As soon as it opens up, my main thing is that I can't wait to get my daughter into getting out and about and visiting castles and waterfalls, and that's her. She's 14 months now, and she's hardly had a chance to do any of that.
No, it's a bit of a shame.
That's the big thing for me.
I suppose she's probably missed out on quite a lot, like not being able to go out and see things, but hopefully can make up pretty soon with that. So.
I can guarantee you will make up 100%.
Quality. So, like, you see, when you started,
mm-hmm.
What sort of camera and that did you have? Did you go straight in and buy like an expensive one, or did you start pretty cheap?
No, I've still got the same one. I still use it. I went for the Nikon D50-300. It came with the standard kit lens. No, I don't use that anymore, but I started buying new lenses and that, and it's got to a good stage. Eventually, I'll upgrade the camera body, but I've kind of got all the lenses I want now. So
you're happy with Nikon? I just stick with that. And just
it's never done me any wrong. It's up to now, so I don't see the point in changing it. It's a full new setup. I need to start buying. I'm happy with what I've got. So.
And you got the drone and all, That's
aye, that's a game changer.
Unreal,
Drone's a game changer. So it is. That's you need to get yourself in.
Out all the things, because obviously I got the Sony and that, but there's something about seeing drone photos. It's just different levels.
It's the thing about the drone is anybody can go to the same location and get the same image. You can't go to a location with your camera and throw the camera in there. You know what I mean? It opens everything up. You see everything. It's the idea of seeing something from a new perspective. You get all your classic images around Scotland or around anywhere. Has always got the classic spots, but to be able to go to the classic spots and find something new, that's a big pull with the drone.
So I take it, was that always something you were going to get, or did you see somebody that had that and you thought, I want to get that, or?
Oh, it was Ray. Me and him had get talking. I've been talking about going to visit an old local castle down my way, Loudon Castle, and he fancied going. So he had 2 drones at the time. So he brought 2 of them, both of them down, gave me a wee shot of one of them. So that kind of gave me the wee.
You didn't crash.
I need to get one.
Quality. So does he just take drone? Does he take photos and all, or is it just more drone?
He takes photos as well. He's actually got a separate page for camera photos. He doesn't use it much. He loves his drone. You can see why he loves it, but he's got the proper drones.
It's quality.
We've got the kid on ones now.
Because what did you say? Yours was about 400 or something like that. Is that right? If you don't mind me asking, obviously.
I got mine second hand, and I think I paid about 500.
Right.
That was, I got all the extras, all the extra batteries, and I got a pack of filters with it and propellers, and I got a good deal on it, so
I
was happy with that.
It is a game changer, because like I've been looking at
100%.
lenses. I've just obviously got the kit and then like a wee nifty 50, nothing exciting, and it's like I'm now at the point, do I spend 700-800 on a decent zoom lens, or do I spend 500 on a drone? And just because I know a zoom lens would be decent, but there's just something about a drone. I've mentioned to you before about Scott's View, and there's just a photo there that, like, me and my mate have talked about it. It would just be unreal to get it, and you need it.
Aye. The thing about it is, it's always sort of depends on what you want. A zoom lens comes in handy, but if you're not going to the locations that will benefit you, then your drone's the man, innit?
Nah, you're right. Because like that's the thing. I know a lot of people would maybe look at a zoom for wildlife and that, and like it does help. There has been times that I've been stuck with a sort of 70, and it's just I need to get that wee bit further, and I just can't. I hate it. I get so frustrated, but I do think the drone would just open up so much more, because I suppose if you just get annoyed and then you just shove it up and you'd be able to take anything,
100%. It's great. So it is. It gives you so many, even for video purposes. If you wanted to go along that route, you can get a couple of. You go to a place or climb a mountain or visit Scott's View, and you want that wee bypassing video. You standing out at the edge. It's perfect. It's great.
It does open up a bit. Like, have you ever thought about vlogging or doing anything like that, like setting up a YouTube, or that way?
Nah. My big thing with it all is I started it all because I enjoyed it. I started it as a hobby. If I eventually make money for it, bonus. If not, I don't want to push it because I don't want to end up getting sick of it. You know what I mean? I don't want to feel like I need to be out there. I want to do it because I enjoy doing it. So I do. So I think even if a lot of people do vlogging when they're maybe out climbing mountains or out doing this or that, but I don't want to put all that extra pressure on either. I want to go out and enjoy what I'm doing. But I love watching people's vlogs. Every night I'll sit before I go to my bed. I'll go on YouTube watching vlogs, and one of the big I've really enjoyed watching Jack Anstey's ones on YouTube now. His videos have been decent.
No, I've not. I've seen a couple of his, but no, like recently. I've not seen any of his.
I quite enjoy watching his YouTube channel.
No,
Scotland Mountains as well.
He got a lot. It was an unreal photo. I think it was Glencoe with the like mist and that. It was just like once in a lifetime like conditions. It was.
I think he's seen it in every condition.
Aye. Nah, you're right. I suppose he maybe wasn't lucky considering he goes all the time.
He's planned that and it's worked in his favour this time.
You're right. Because I have been out and I've tried setting up another camera and taking photo, and it's like you say, it's just sometimes too much effort, and it does take that enjoyment out for you. There's no point.
Definitely, it's a lot of I want to go out and I actually want to go out sometimes to chill. You know what I mean? And sometimes you think, right, I need to do this and then I need to do that, and then you actually forget what you're there for. You know what I mean? The amount of times I've went to a place and I've had stuff in my mind, and then I start doing other stuff, and then I walk away and I'm like, I forgot to do that.
It's like the amount of times that when you're in a rush, like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But more recently, when we've been allowed to go out, I've went like just up the Eildons, obviously close to the house, and I've just went up and just stood at the top of like for about an hour, thinking, sometimes not even taking photos. It's just appreciating what's in front of you for once, instead of I need to take that, I need to put it on Instagram, I need to get this many likes. Like it doesn't matter as long as you're enjoying it. That's kind of
it's like I said, I love planning a trip.
Aye.
And even though if I go out, I know where I'm going. I don't go with a particular image in mind.
Aye.
I like to get to that location, then just take it as I see it.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, I don't like. So I love going around Google Maps and I'll go right. I'll go there first, then I'll drop off to that spot, then I'll go over to that. But I don't actually have an image in my head before I go.
Yeah.
I like to get there and sit and chill and find my surroundings, find what it's about, and then plan out something.
No, I'm quite similar. Like I don't. It's a weird one because like I don't even go on Google Maps or anything. Like I just like sometimes it's maybe a negative doing that because it is quite good to kind of plan stuff out. But especially if I've got time, like I do tend just to go somewhere, and there'll be sometimes I'll focus solely in on something, and then there'll be other times that there'll be too many different things to photograph, and it's like before you sometimes just miss stuff, like because you're chasing the light that way, or like the conditions are better at that side of the lake or whatever, or loch, and it's like you try and get in there and then it changes. It's just
it happens all the time. It happens. My best ones, I always seem to think that the sunset's finished and leave.
Aye.
And halfway down the road it blows up.
Aye. That's the amount of time.
That's my favourite.
It happens all the time. I know. Nah, you're right. Like I always remember my mate saying he waited at the top of, I can't mind where it was, just top of a hill somewhere, and he waited for like sunset. And obviously he went down, he was like, sound, I'll leave. And then there was another photographer going up the way, right? And the boy was like, you're missing the best conditions, mate. Eh? And it's true, like sometimes you do just, like it is actually after, like it goes in. Like,
100%. The amount of times I've done it's phenomenal.
Aye.
Honestly, it's frightening. I went to Culzean Castle one night with my mate Andy, that's Verdant Visuals.
Yep.
And we're just making wee videos and taking images, and it was the same. We'd sat there, sun went down, like, oof, how's a disappointment. So we'd worked our way back round to a bit that he quite fancied to go. So I looked up and I could see, I was like, wee bits of cloud coming through, they look pink. So I just thought, I'll take my camera, ran back up, and it was phenomenal. Like the sky it was a proper blood red, the full sky. I've never seen anything like it. That's even when I posted the image that I took of the back of my camera at the time, and it was you'd have honestly thought I'd done major editing on it. I'd hardly touched it.
I mind that one. That was one that the sky was like a deep red, like.
Aye. Well, it was, and that's what it was like. It was scary. It was so good.
Aye. No, it's amazing when, I suppose it's unexpected, like sometimes you can look at the apps for the weather, you can look at the times that you're going to go, but if you're not there and you just take in, you can miss anything,
Just drop me a text if I'm not going out, then you go out. That'd be amazing.
Nah, yeah, it's there's so many times that's happened that, well, I suppose that's the whole thing. If you're not out, it's like if you don't put the lottery in, like in it to win it and all that stuff. If you're not out, you're not going to get it, So
I spend the winnings of the lottery every week, and I don't put it on.
I know, that's the thing with the lottery, though, Like I never enter it if it's 5 or 6. I'm always like 60 million, It's like 5 or 6. What's the point?
Who needs 5 or 6?
Okay. Well. Obviously, like I've met up with you once, and you've met up with a few other folk. Do you think that helped? Is it always something that you've been open to do, or like did someone contact you first to meet up with you, or how did you get into sort of doing that?
It's always been different. We've always explained the one with Ray. That was going to book castles, and then with Andy, we actually with like mutual friends.
Right.
So that kind of came together that way. Then there was yourself. Me and you spoke for a while. Big Patrick. It's with Patrick on Insta.
Yeah.
Me and him were the same as you and I, been talking for a while. And I really enjoy it because it gets something different. It's a bit of, you can compare with people. You can go out, you can get tips off them. You can give them tips. You get new ways of doing stuff, and it might work in your favour. And everybody that I've met so far, they've all been sound, and
Exactly.
it's a good community. So it is. I do enjoy it. It's good, and it's.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is one of them that, like, I think you can learn so much from like other people. I know when I started, I never really met like up with anyone or that. It was more like YouTube, and it was kind of just that you can learn so much from YouTube, but you need to be out with like other folk and just even getting the banter and patter and that. Like it just makes it more enjoyable instead of being on your own and a wee loser and that.
Well, it is. As I said, it opens your eyes to so many different things. People know stuff you don't. You know stuff people don't. You've got maybe different ideas for different places. You know places they don't. They know places you don't. And plus, as I say, it's good just to meet new people.
No, you're right.
You know, I mean, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, it's enjoying it and don't make it a chore.
No, you're right. That's it. So, like, did you have many things planned? Did you have trips planned that have been put on hold, or?
It's meant to be. I'd won a trip for a camper. I was meant to go away to Arran for 4 days.
Was that the one that you won?
Aye. And then that got cancelled, and then eventually I managed to speak to another camper van company that was going to let us go in theirs, and then lockdown happened, and it's just we've had to put a hold on it, and it will happen again, thankfully.
Yeah.
When that will be, I don't know.
No, exactly. It's
just take it as it comes. Well, it's horrible because it'd have been an epic trip. We were going to go to Arran for the 4 days, but then because we didn't know how the ferries would be, because of the whole situation, we thought we'd change it, and we're going to head up the west and go to Assynt.
All right.
And spend the time about there for a few days. So, but never got to happen. So we'll see what happens.
I know it is one of them. It's just one of those things that it's like you see a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, but it just keeps getting smaller and smaller. It's like, you just hope it finishes soon, because
I'm just taking each day as it comes now. There's no point trying to rush it or anything. It'll be when it is.
No, you're right. It's frustrating, but anyway, I suppose move on for that negative chat.
No, get that away.
Obviously, is there like a favourite place that you kind of always want to go to? Like, I know you mentioned Glencoe and that, but is there maybe a bit that you don't really let on, that is maybe like a secret location for you that you like, or you don't really like that? You're quite open with?
No, I think there's been places I've wanted to go to and people have told me where they are. So I don't want to be that person that tries and keeps all the locations to herself. If I know somewhere that's decent, I'll tell them. Glencoe and Skye would, if I could go anywhere at any time, it'd be those two places, 100%. But there's a lot of places over my way in the West Coast, castles and that they don't get a lot of attention. But I love going to them. Dunure Castle and Greening Castle are two of my favourites. I could go down there every weekend, honestly. And a lot of waterfall locations as well, and even over your way, St Ard.
It's one of those that isn't as much like it is an amazing place like the Borders and that, but there's not quite as waterfalls and that. They're all just wee streams and that. Like, you're not getting much. There obviously is. I think it's Stitchill, which is quite like it's difficult to get to. So if you're out this way, time we'll try and get to that. But yeah, like there's a lot together, like in the borders, that you could almost do in one.
Aye.
But I really want to get out your way, because some of the waterfalls that you put up and that, they're just different level.
There's a few hidden ones out that way, so there is.
Aye.
It's actually one of them that I go to. It's actually hard to even pinpoint a map where it is.
Right.
So I managed to find it one day, and ever since then, people ask where it is, and I'll give them rough directions to it, but
yeah,
it can be dodgy to get into it. So I don't want to end up being blamed for somebody having a fall down into this waterfall.
Aye.
But down my way, I love it up the coast. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So as I could spend all day at the coast and at beaches and castles, and I love it.
Aye. No, it was like that. The time obviously we met and we went down. What was it, Morton Castle? Was that right?
Morton Castle, aye.
Obviously we agreed to A, and it was like 6 a.m, be there and that, and 4:30 or something I had to get up, and like obviously done it driving all that way, and like obviously the first time I met you, and like I'm quite I'm no the most confident. Maybe the first time I meet somebody, like I do get quite like shy in that, and I always remember I was like, I've been speaking to you for ages, but I don't really ken you, and it was one of them. I was like, the closer I got, I was like, what if this isn't the right guy? What if it's no Chris and all this stuff? And pulled up, and obviously had your van, and I was like, that's the end. I'm done here. Like
loaded into the back of the van now, eh?
I was like, oh no, and then I couldn't see, and I was like, no, where is? Because it was pitch black, and I was like, no, where is he? And then obviously seen you got the thumbs up, and I was like, oh, thank Christ for that.
Well, it can be. It's a weird feeling. I'm comfortable with things like that. I'm working out in building sites. I'm always meeting new people, and it's quite brash out in building sites.
Exactly. Yeah.
And there's a lot of you've got to be kind of talkative and be about yourself. So that's something that's obviously helped me. But it can be quite. It's daunting. That's the word I'm looking for. It can be daunting. You've got to meet somebody you don't have a clue anything about them. You know what I mean? But it's good that sort of thing. I've not met a bad person yet, so I'm quite happy.
Aye. Maybe you're just picking and choosing then, eh?
I filtering them all out. Yes. No.
No, I'm sure. It's like you say, like the community's pretty decent, eh? So, like, there's always you're not gonna get on with everyone, eh? That's always got to be the way, but
that's natural, mate. That's
as long as someone's decent with you, then you're going to be decent back, eh? So.
I've always said that, and I don't like judging people.
Nah.
I don't like taking someone because someone else has told me something about them. I prefer to take somebody the way they are with me, and that's it.
No, spot on. No, you're right.
It's the best way to be.
Exactly. Like you've obviously met up with a lot more people, and that I'd obviously made a few plans with like people, but just because obviously what's all went on, my mate Kieran and that, I'd been up to see him a few times, and we'd been out sort of up his way, Dunblane and that, and got some really good like photos like around Stirling, and it was like it's good just being out in that, but apart from him and obviously yourself, there's I've not managed to get out with anyone, but that's one thing that I'm hoping, obviously even setting this up, like I'll be able to kind of speak to a few more people and try and get out with folk and just learn from them, because that's one thing that I want to be able to just learn, eh?
Aye, that is it. I went to one meetup that was arranged by Gary McIntyre, who you find on Insta as well. I'd been speaking. He's from down my way. I'd been speaking to him for a while, so I finally met him. It was up in Glencoe, and he's a genius with a camera. Absolute genius, and Actually, for a while I got to stand, it was just the two of us taking in a composition. Actually, I didn't take any photographs. I just sat and watched what he was doing. So I did, and he sat and he spoke me through things, and he spoke me through some different wee things to do in Photoshop when they're tidying images up, and different wee hints and tips.
Aye.
He's a good guy, so is as well. So I'd like to go to more meetups at some point as well.
Aye. So did he did you know much about Photoshop and like Lightroom before, or no really?
Just anything I learned on YouTube. I was literally self-taught and everything. I actually used to, probably for about the first year, I edited on my phone.
Oh, I mind you saying that. I couldn't believe
it. Done all my edits on my phone until I got a laptop, and there's still times where I will edit my phone. If I just fancy editing something quickly, I'll just transfer it to my phone and just sit and do it.
Aye, nah, you're right. I'm probably like one of the lucky ones in a way, because I'm a graphic designer. That's my job, so
aye,
I've kind of got the understanding. Like I'm still no the level of some folk. Like there is folk that are in that.
Some of the folk are scary.
Aye, but like I knew like the basics, so that kind of helped me out. So I was almost halfway there. Editing is like a massive part of it. Like a lot of people don't really think that, but like it's almost like even 60-40 like sometimes.
I would for me, I would say so. The amount of images you can take, and they look terrible.
Aye.
Like, as I say, you can sit down, you can work out your camera, you can take the image, and you can look at it in the back of your camera and go, "That's no what." But once you put it into Lightroom, I think you can bring the image to life.
100%.
And you can really bring out maybe what you've seen at the time to life, and it's amazing just how different you can change stuff.
Nah, so would you say you're one of them that like adds a wee bit into photos, or are you?
I have done in the past, 100%. There's maybe been a time where I thought I've took the image and maybe the sky hasn't been the way, but the one thing I do if I was at a location and maybe I was taking a picture of a castle in front of me, but the sky maybe wasn't the way I liked it, I'd maybe turn the camera around and take a picture the other way where the sky was nice.
That's quite decent.
And then I'd blend them together. So even though it's maybe not the one image, it's actually from the same area.
Aye, I've never even thought of that, but that's quite good. It's quite a good
But I would always, if I post it, I would always say this isn't it's not the same image as how I imagined it at the time or something. But there's been a couple of times I've maybe added a wee couple of birds into the sky or something, just a wee bit of added interest.
Nah, it's that was I never really. I would say I'm happy to maybe take something out if it's like a pole or like something at the side, which I suppose I'm probably contradicting myself. I never really add anything in because I done it once. I added birds into like the sky once, and I feel like I'm cheating. That was just like it's just me. It's not that it's wrong. You can do what you want. But I just couldn't do it. Which is stupid because I'm happy to take stuff out. Like, if there's like a take that right out. But
that's the thing. You're taking things out to clean your image up.
Yeah.
So why not add other things in to get that effect you want?
Nah,
you know what I mean?
I know. It's
at the end of the day, you're not doing anything wrong. You're not breaking any rules. You're editing your image the way you want to edit it. That's the be all and end all.
I know. Nah, you're right. It is. It's just me as a person. I just can't see myself adding stuff in. And at the same time, you edit stuff, you change the colours, like so. It doesn't matter. Like 10% editing or 50%, you're still editing it.
Aye. Well, the thing is, if you add stuff in, you're not doing anything wrong. If you don't add stuff in, you're not doing anything wrong. As I say, if if I did, I very rarely add stuff in. And if I do, once I post it, I would always say something like birds added in for extra interest or extra effect. Or,
I would say, I suppose it's just personal preference. It's just up to you.
Oh, definitely. At the end of the day, it's your images and your page. Again, people are going to like it, or people are not going to like it. That's every image in general.
Yeah. So, like, you see, like your Instagram page. Like, when did you start that? Was it, you said 3 years ago when you were maybe doing camera and that, but soon after that? Or?
It would have been, I think it would have been just after I got my camera, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I was posting images just on my personal page at the time. I said that I'd reckon my page maybe 2.5 years old.
Aye.
So it will be something.
That's similar to mine, and let's be honest, your photos are better than mine. But a lot of the times, me personally, how like you've got like followers aren't everything, but it does get to you a wee bit, But so like you've obviously got 4,500 followers or whatever. I'm at like about 800 or something like that. And did you notice a change? Was it one post that you put up that you kind of thought, Jesus, my followers are just going up, or has it just been a gradual build up?
For a while, it was gradual, and then me and my partner, we went and done the North Coast 500, and I was posting my images from that while I was doing the trip. And it seemed that when I was doing that, I started, while I was on the trip, I got a couple of features from some of the big Scotland pages.
Yeah.
And my page started growing quite quickly, but I feel the whole thing slowed down now. I don't think anybody really grows the way they used to grow. But again, having the people that enjoy your page and want to follow your page, that's a bonus to this thing.
Yeah.
I say the amount of times I'll literally scroll right to the bottom of my page, and I'll look at older images, and I like the memories that come from them. I love being able to look back at something and remember what it was like when I was there and the company I was with, and I love that kind of side of it. So growing is important, I think, if you're looking to make money.
No, that's true.
To be able to bring that, I think that's obviously important. But I kind of enjoy the whole thing. So it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it's it's quite weird because I remember when I first started the page and that I was that obsessed with posting every day, post every day, like.
Aye.
And I was just putting so much pressure, like, on myself to one, have a good photo, and then also put it up every day. That was the thing, and I think I maybe done like 30 posts every day, and I then was just like, what am I doing? Like, I can't do it. Like, I can't sustain it. I just couldn't. Like, obviously, working, gym, whatever else. You've got other thing in your life that you do, and it was just. So I stopped, and then now I just kind of try and put a photo up that I'm happy with, and like from me doing that, I've actually got more likes. I've got more followers just from me posting, not as regular, but maybe the best photo that I've got, if you know what I mean.
I think if you can post quality images, you're inevitably going to get more feedback on it and more engagement on it. I totally agree with. When I'd first started, I wanted to try and get loads of pictures up, and it got to the point you're just posting for the sake of posting. And it was things like that. And I think with the whole Instagram thing, there was a time to be involved in it. Especially like some people just hit it at the right time.
Yeah.
But that's hindsight. It's great, isn't it?
I know.
There's people there's people that's got big pages and big followings that maybe aren't as good as the people with a low following. That's just life. That's just life in general.
I know.
That's the way things work. Sadly.
Ken, you're right. I suppose, and it's like you say, overall, it doesn't really matter as long as you're enjoying, like, going out, taking photos, getting the memories, and that's all that matters.
That is it. As I said at the start, when I started this, I done it because I enjoyed doing it.
Yeah.
I don't ever want it to feel like it's a chore or that I need to do it. If that's the case, I'll stop it. I do it because I enjoy doing it, and as I say, the photos give me memories that I can look back on and later life and stuff. So.
No, you're right. Well, I feel like it's been a decent chat, and obviously I don't want to keep going on. Keep you all night, Christ. So
I can talk for Scotland.
Just two things before obviously finish up in that. But is there one photo you've maybe already taken it, but one photo that you maybe want to get, or maybe someone else has taken it that you wish you'd taken, or do you not think like that? You happy with just what you get at the time?
I'd probably say so. You always see the photos where the people are standing in the mountains and there's a cloud inversion.
Aye.
So there's loads of images like that I want to get.
Aye.
I like the idea. If I see somebody's put an image up and I really love it, I love the location. I'd check out that location, but I like putting my own spin.
Yeah.
On something. I hate the idea of going somewhere and completely copying somebody.
I know. Aye.
But the hard thing about that as well is at classic locations, you get the classic image, which you're inevitably going to have the same image as somebody else.
Aye. You're right. Aye.
No, as I said, I don't think there's never really an image that I'm like, oh, I need to get that image.
No. Like nowhere abroad or that, like Norway or Iceland or like.
The likes at the Faroes. The Faroes is top of my list. That's the go-to place for me. I've been to Iceland before.
All right.
But that was before I got my camera.
Oh, typical.
So, when I went to Iceland, I done the classics again, Blue Lagoon and the Gofoss waterfall, places like that. If I went back to Iceland, I would do it different. I think I'd hire a camper.
Aye.
And try and research it a bit more and plan out a proper trip. But apart from that, Faroes will be the top of my list.
Aye. Well, fingers crossed you can get there someday, but you never know.
I never know. No, I can't see it this year probably. But
I know. It's a shame, but I suppose everyone's in the same position, eh?
Aye, we're healthy and safe. Can't ask for any more than that now.
Nah, exactly. So, just to finish, where can people find you? Just on Instagram? Do you have anything else, like a website, or is it just Instagram?
It's just Instagram now. I'm looking into starting a website. When that happens, I don't know. But that's it just now. It's just Instagram.
Is that to sell your prints, like photos and that on your website? Is that the plan in that?
Well, I'd like to. If people want to buy prints off me, then that's a massive bonus to me. Yeah. So, also I think having a website also it'll pull people more towards you. I think if you can put them towards someone where they can see what your work's like.
Yeah.
If maybe eventually you maybe did fancy doing a couple of jobs, you've already got a page where people can see how you do it, and if they'd fancy you doing it for them, it's definitely a big pull to people.
Yeah, no, you're right. It does probably help having maybe that wee bit more professional side of thing. Just
definitely.
People can obviously look through, learn a bit about you as well. So it's decent. Well, obviously I appreciate you coming on, and hopefully
appreciate you asking me. That was decent.
Spot on. Well, I'll let you get going, and hopefully this has done it right. If not, I'll need to do it again.
Just give us a shout, mate.
Aye. It's sound. All right. I'll see you later.
Cheers, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
See you later.